Salutations, Queen of Shade here, and I would like to formally, cordially welcome you to Season 3 of One-on-One with the Queen of Shade. Oh, we are so excited to be entering our Season 3 of One-on-One with the Queen of Shade. It has been quite an honor to speak to the most amazing Black and Latin men and women and Caucasians at times that live on the world's stage of social media. It has truly been an honor, and I have enjoyed every single moment of it. So listen, what you need to do right now is get yourself a snack and come on back to watch this show. Because, baby, we have so many wonderful conversations lined up for your viewing pleasure. These are not interviews. These are interviews. Show us what your soul looks like. Yes, we see you on social media, but let us see your humanity behind the beauty. Beauty is invincible, darling. But now, let's make it talk. So come on, let's get to the interview and enjoy it together. I love you very much, and thank you for supporting me for 3 seasons. Mwah.
Love and sex, fools know best. It's the ones that want control of me. When they buy, they pay my currency. Why do you act so surprised? Cause I make them feel alive again. Cause I make them feel like they can win. Cause I always let the record spin. Cause I never let the party end. Cause I make them feel alive again. Cause I make them feel like they can win. Cause I always let the record spin. Cause I never let the party end. Come on into my boudoir. Come on into my party. Come on into my boudoir. Come on into my party. Come on into my boudoir. Come on into my party. Come on into my boudoir. Come on into my party. Love and sex means parties. 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 Then the rules you can choose. We don't tolerate the enemy. What you do here remains judgment free. You're so safe here. Cause I make them feel alive again. Cause I make them feel like they can win. Cause I always let the record spin. Cause I never let the party end. Cause I make them feel alive again. Cause I make them feel like they can win. Cause I always let the record spin. Cause I never let the party end. Come on into my boudoir. Come on into my party. Come on into my boudoir. Come on into my party. Come on into my boudoir. Come on into my party. Come on into my boudoir. Come on into my party. Love and sex means parties. 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 Love and sex means parties.
One-on-One with the Queen of Shade presents my friend, 9-time Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, and producer with receipts, Miss Kelli.
Salutations, Queen of Shade here, coming to you with a very special presentation. Speaking to people all over the world has been an amazing opportunity, and I've been equally as blessed to be able to do it for a 3rd season. We are in the 3rd season of One-on-One with the Queen of Shade, and I am so excited at its progress. I'm bringing to you some people that were present in Season 1, but Season 1 was 3 years ago. So I'm also this season bringing new faces, new conversations, new enlightened individuals, so that you can hear the same brilliance that I hear when I speak to them. Having said that, I have a diva today. Someone who really needs no introduction because she has been constant for a very long time. And the one thing about mastery is that it rewards devotion. This woman is devoted to her craft. She's devoted to everything she does. And we're going to find out just exactly, because I know, but you need to know what exactly she does. She has a documentary out right now called Transcendent on YouTube. You can find it. Ladies and gentlemen, her name, please help me welcome Miss Kelli, and that's Kelly with an I. Hello.
Well, hello there, beautiful.
Hello, gorgeous. How are you today? We've already done this, but we're going to do it for them now. How are you today?
Listen, I'm alive and well.
I feel that. I'm the same
Yeah.
way. I'm alive and well. Forgive my voice. It's been coming and going too, so it is a little hoarseness in there. But no, I'm doing. We're all alive. That is such a beautiful way to start this. Alive and well, and we know why.
That's
Because
right.
because there is a God.
That's it.
I
That's
love
it.
how I couldn't wait, Miss Kelli, to sit down and do this because I'm going to catch them up. I had the privilege of having you send me Transcendent, your documentary on
Uh-huh.
YouTube, and it was everything that was needed to be given. I think I commented to you the entire time I was watching it. I think every point that stood out to me, I was texting, like it was
Yes.
such a beautiful thing. So my first question, because I really don't do questions, these are conversations, but I really want people to know Transcendent, the documentary. Let's start there. How did it come about? Like, tell us about yourself. Tell us, because I know. So tell them, these beautiful viewers that are going to see this for years to come. Tell everybody who Miss Kelli is and what she does.
Well, once again, hello, hello, and hello. Thank you so much, beautiful, for having me on your platform. I appreciate you. I love you. I've been watching you for a very long time. And I would just say to you to keep on moving forward. Okay. And so my name is Miss Kelly. That's Misskeli. So, who is Miss Kelly? Miss Kelly is your friend, your auntie, your sister, your mother, and I am a singer-songwriter, and I do some producing. Um, I've been doing this thing we call music ooh, for a very long time. It's been quite some time. As I'm saying this, I'm sitting up here looking at my work on the side of this table here of stuff that I've done, just a little taste of stuff that I've done. But I've been doing this for a very long time, and I've been blessed enough to come through on the indie artist side of things, and I've made some great waves coming through the indie industry with the music that I've sung down through the years. I started out with dance music, house music. Look, a girl had to get a start from somewhere. So I was able to come in and do dance music and have some moderate success on that in the underground circuit. Then I branched on years down with doing R&B, dance slash inspirational music, um, which put me, which excelled me into another genre of music because I've always loved R&B. That's what I grew up on. In my house, that's all you heard was the oldie but goodies. You know, your Patties, your Jennifers, your Temptations, your Luther Vandrosses, and all those beautiful, wonderful, talented icons that I haven't even named outside of these brilliant people. That's all you heard in my house, along with gospel. I must say that because gospel was definitely a part of the song, the music menu. But these elements of music helped develop Miss Kelly, my sound, um, my persona. I learned a lot from these greats because I study people and I study great people. And it's very important, I feel, as a musician, is to study the greats because the greats are the ones that have longevity and um, they have a place in music that you can come 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years from now and put on a Patty record, put on a Jennifer Holiday record, put on OJ's record, put on a Miss Kelly record, and say, you know what? This is what you call timeless music. This is something that I could listen to and gain so much from, you know, to help. But yeah, so.
I thank you for doing that because a lot of people, especially artists, because our road is so high, because I too am an indie artist and I've been for many years. I love and I thank you for not shying away from the opportunity to talk about yourself because a lot of artists, they feel awkward when they have to talk about themselves. But I thank you because when you spoke about yourself, you spoke about those gracious things that are about you, things that I didn't even know until I saw your documentary. You know, you didn't just get your start in house music. You met people that made that possible. And not only did they make that possible, but I'm telling these kids because I'm so appreciative of it. Not only did you make a splash in house music, but you also made a splash because of house music in Europe. Europe was where you really got picked up, and that's near and dear to my heart because that happened to me too. America didn't understand my genre, you know, and they don't until you're super uber successful, and then they realize, oh, you have your own style, your own genre of music.
Right.
And that's what happened with you. You piggy banked off of what you heard, but Transcendent is all you. And I love that. I love that. And I'm going to stay there because I asked you to do it. So now I'm going to pull out the points. So
Okay.
not only was house music and Europe a major part of your becoming, but you also got to sing on stages with the greats like Patti LaBelle. She asked you to sing,
Yes,
and you
yes,
and you brought the house down.
yes. That was a very epic moment in my life
Yes.
because it's something I learned something down through the years about manifestation, and I remember I manifested. Oh God, this was back in maybe I was like maybe like 16, 17. I manifested that one day I'm going to sing with her. I just spoke it into the universe. And because I spoke it, um, I saw it before I could see it. And then I spoke it. Then when I spoke it, it came to life. And that's something that, as us being human, we have to understand about manifestation and speaking things into existence because our words have power.
Yes.
There's life and death in the power of our tongue. But when you speak life, you get life.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when you speak positivity, you get positivity. That's why it's very important who you hang around, who's in your circle, and all that. But getting back to the point, I sang with Miss Patti LaBelle. Uh, One day, I had a birthday. Real quick, I had a birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and my goddaughter's parents um, knew I loved Patty. I used to sing all in the house, her songs and stuff in the house. So they said, you know what? Which I didn't know. They said, we're going to do something special for Miss Kelly. We're going to buy tickets for her birthday so that we all can go to the concert. They bought me tickets for my birthday. They rented a limo. That's back in the limo days, because now we have
Uber
yeah,
and
the Uber trucks and all that. Right. So they got that. And I was done, hair up, like a patty style and everything. I mean, I gave it. So I went to the concert. We got there. I went to the concert, and Miss Patty sings one of her legendary hits, "Somebody Loves You, Baby," and she was like, she said, "I need some singers up here. Can anybody sing?" So I immediately jumped up, went to the stage, and as soon as I got to the stage, she like came off of a run, and she saw me, and she walked over to me. She said, "Oh, baby," she said, "your hair is fierce." And I was like, "Oh, thank you, Miss Patty," because I had one of them little updos with the little spray in it and all that. And she's like, "Your hair is fierce." She said, "Can you sing?" I was like, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Come on up here, baby." She gave me the mic. We started um, uh, going back and forth with "Somebody
Call and
Love You, Baby,"
response. Call
call
and
and response,
response.
singing, and
Mm-hmm.
it went from there. And ever since then, I've had an opportunity to sing with her several other times. I've sung with CC Peniston. I've sung with oh my God, with Colonel Abrams. I've sung with oh, it's so many, girl. Cause look, listen,
Name them. You gotta name them.
um,
You gotta
um,
name them. You gotta think. Go ahead, Miss Kelly. Take your time, baby.
um,
Take your time. You gotta
okay,
name them because they gotta know who you are and what you've done.
okay. So I've sung with Colonel Abrams. I've sung, like I said, with CC Peniston. I've sung with okay, I've sung with several greats.
Yes.
And oh, Martha Wash.
There
I've
it
sung
is.
with Martha Wash.
There it is.
I've sung with oh God. Uh Several other people I've sung with, but just having that opportunity to present
Yes.
in that manner, to be present in that manner was like outstanding. It was unreal. It was like, wow, and is this really happening to me? As CC Pennis is saying, finally it has happened to me right in front of my face, excuse me. And it was a euphoric moment. Um but with all that, um with all that, I my ride in this thing we call music, especially on the indie circuit, being black, one, two being LGBTQ plus, and then three being trans, has not been an easy road.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get in my first car when I first did my first recording. Um, I had a car back then. I had a Ford Aspire, little small egg car,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember seeing this out of my mouth. I said, well, as I was getting in my car, I looked in my rearview mirror. I said, bitch, buckle up because it's about to be a bumpy ride. But I said, if you continue to drive this car or drive whatever car that you have or just drive through life, you're going to go through bumps and bruises and ups and downs and so many things in between. But if you just keep going, just stay with it and keep going, you can make it happen. So for the last, maybe I would say 20 something years, I've been going. I've had my moments where I said, you know what, this ain't happening. I'm tired. Ain't nothing moving, ain't nothing happening. Nobody's really liking me. Nobody's really feeling me. Nobody's really streaming my music. Nobody's really paying attention to me. Uh, like I would like for them to. I've had industry people who have shunned me because of me being trans.
Mm-hmm.
Once they found out,
Mm-hmm.
because over in Europe, when my stuff came out over Europe, my first song called "Hey Love" came out on the R&B indie chart radios, on the radios over there, and my song and my album Transcendence, which I have here.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I
Put,
yes,
put her a little closer. Put her a little closer. Yes. Give her a yes. 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 Give her. Yes. Okay. I wanted him to see that because I gagged when I saw that in the documentary.
yes.
You're giving that glamour. You said something, and I wanted to piggyback off of it while you're
Go
still
ahead.
speaking. You said, I sang with the greats, I listened to the greats. And like you're saying with this driving through life, I actually did a monologue before this where I sat down and I was talking about the fact that, people get mad when you try to spin your own narrative, when your narrative is not what they wanted to narrate for you. I said something in that monologue. I said, but if you narrate and you spin that narrative long enough, you become that person. And and I'm going to stay there. I love how you said, buckle up. We are in for a long haul and a long bumpy ride, because I remember, I've been in the business of entertainment for 25 years. I've been singing myself. I'm 43. I've been singing since I was 10 years old. I've been singing for 33 years.
Wow.
And I know, and I remember it's been like you said, it's been a road. Oh my God, because even industry people, because I was going to sign to a major label, they wanted to hide my femininity. They knew I had the voice, but they wanted to hide it almost in a ghosting capacity. Almost in a ghosting capacity. Almost. But I walked away. They were very furious with me years ago. But I'm saying that to say this. During all of those times, in front of those people, dealing with them, singing with them, doing the things that I've done in my life, I would get frustrated too, because I would be like, nothing's happening. Nothing, it's taking too long. That was always my thing. God, it's taking too long. I want to use what you said about the car, because that's exactly what he said to me. So this is surreal for me, Miss Kelli,
Wow.
because he said that to me. So listen to how he said it to me. He said, your life and you are on a highway. Said, you are in the vehicle that I chose for you at this time. He said, now there's nothing in front of you but highway. He said, can you pull over and stop here and say, this is it? I'm not going any further. I said, no, God, I can't. He said, why can't you? I said, because I'm on the highway. There's nothing around me. This is a distance travel, and there are no provisions here where I choose to stop. I am forced to keep going, because the destination has the gas for the car, has the shelter for me, has the substance for me to nourish my body, has all the connections I need. So he taught me that you can't stop on the highway because you're premature. There's nothing here. You can't even refuel your gas tank. So I just love that you knew instinctively through your art. And what people need to understand is two-spirited, I'm two-spirited, trans, LGBTQ, period. We have the duality of the energies. It's not all feminine. It's not all masculine. We have these dualities. And in many, many cultures in Africa, many, many cultures in America, Native America, two-spirited, trans, LGBTQ people were revered because we were considered the gateways to spiritual enlightenment, with God and the ancestors. So, ironically, I find that our business of music is a very evil place.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't like too much presence of God in what they're doing. They don't like that. So when they see beings that naturally don't have to go get in a prayer closet, but can say, God, I need you, and he's there, that's intimidating.
Right.
So I too remember, because I started in fashion,
No.
and I'm very effeminate. I was always effeminate. Even with a bald head, my mannerism, my body, people would call me woman all the time. So then, even when I would open my mouth and my voice would come out, they'd be like, "Oh, girl," like automatically. And in that process, Paris, because I got to go to Paris. I started in New York, but I got to go to Paris. Paris embraced that. Europe is way more progressive. They're way more progressive. Oh, you're trans? Okay. Like that's it. Okay. Now show us your art. Show us what you're doing. Bring to us what you've brought across the water. Even today, Miss Kelly, I've been working 20 years. It's been 20 years since I really have stepped foot in Paris, but I left my heart there. I dropped it in the River Seine, and I turned around and I said, I'll be back for you.
Yeah.
And I came home and I began to work and work and work. And it took
Mm-hmm.
me 20 years because of my mental health complications and therapy and all that I needed with family and understanding the deep interpersonal relationships I was having and the lack thereof as well. Took me
Right.
20 years. But one thing I love about Europe, Miss Kelly, is that you're allowed to be yourself. You're
Yeah.
allowed to be yourself.
Uh-huh.
So I want you to stay there because what people don't understand, and the gays do, house is a huge deal.
Yes, it is.
It's a huge. So when you said a girl has to start somewhere, I thought to myself, you started exactly where you needed to be because house music, like hip hop music, has legs, arms, and wings.
That's it.
It
That's it.
goes, it goes. So can you tell us a little bit about your start in house and the songs you sang? And
Okay, I'm glad you said that. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
you're welcome.
So in night, okay, so I'm going to pull some things.
Yes, pull it, Miss Kelly, pull it.
So in my actual start, actual recording something on on a recording device
Yeah,
and having it presented to the world.
yeah,
But before then, I must give a shout out to somebody very special who I don't talk about very often because in these interviews, sometimes we're going so fast, sometimes we just can't get everything out.
yeah.
But there is one special person that I must say, and I'm gonna say it really fast. His name is Sean Henson.
Yes, please talk about him. I was waiting. I was waiting. I was waiting for
Okay,
you to bring him up. Yes.
okay. So Sean Henson was a college kid, a club head college kid in Baltimore. He used to frequent the Paradox a lot. And so one day I was introduced to him by a friend of mine. A friend of mine told him that I sang. He immediately gathered me together and was like, "We're going to go and record you." I My first song that and back then we didn't have all this fancy digital stuff that we have now.
Right.
We had reel to reel recordings and we had cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Where you recorded on cassette tape. My first song that I recorded was called "Wicked Woman."
There it
was,
is. I was
was,
waiting. It's in your
was
documentary, so that's why I'm like, I
yes,
know, I'm familiar.
yes, yes, yes,
I'm not letting you miss anything. Wicked Woman. Go ahead.
yes. First one, second one was called "Take Me Up," and the third one was called "Summers in the Air."
Yes.
We gathered those songs together. We went to RCA. We had a meeting with Carmen Cacciatore in at RCA Records.
Yeah.
And at the time, Carmen said, "Well, listen," he said, "you know, you just need a little bit more development." He said, "But I'm going to turn you on to some house producers in Baltimore." And one house producer he mentioned to me, he said, "Because your voice is very Sylvester-ish, very Sylvester, very Aretha Franklin-ish."
They're cut from the same cloth. Sylvester
Right,
and Aretha cut from the same cloth. Yeah.
right, very, very Patti LaBelle-ish, very, very
Hmm.
strong, and that falsetto that you have is a great asset to house music, dance music. So he said, "I want you to connect with DJ Pope, which is an icon, which is a pioneer in dance music. He's originally from Chicago." But he's a pioneer in dance music. He's a very known, well DJ, and he's a producer. So I contact Pope. Pope and I got together. He said, "You know what?" He said, "I love your sound." He said, "You have that Sylvester thing." He said, "How about we do a cover of a Sylvester record?" I was like, "Oh." Like, I was like, "Oh, like me?" He was like, "Yes." So he said, um, "Go home, listen to the song, practice, come back, we're going to record it." So, in reference to that, this was my first. Now, baby, I got album. Okay,
Wow.
this is vinyl here. so,
Yes.
so this shows you how old this is. This came out in 90. I think it was in 96.
Okay.
So at the time, I was under a different stage name. It's Marty St. Michael's. That was my stage name at the time.
Yes.
That was before I fully transitioned to
Yes.
being a trans woman.
Thank you for
But
bringing that
this,
up.
okay, so this is the first record we did called "Sell My Soul" that came out on Shelter Records in New York. My rendition of this was really really great. It really opened uh, doors for me because I was bringing that Sylvester sound back, but adding my own isms. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I like for people to know that Miss Kelly has her thing, but I can add isms from people who I cover songs by. So this was the first one.
Yep.
Okay. So then hang in with me.
Oh
So
no, we're here, honey. We're here.
okay, and so the next one we did together, because I got four here. The next one, so um, that song did really well, and so he said, "Well, hey, everybody's liking that song. Let's do another one." So DJ Pope and his brother wrote a song called "Spirit,"
Wow.
and they were like, "You know what? We had." He said, "Well, I have a song that me and my brother wrote. It's called Spirit. We like to get your vocals on it." So we came back with this. This is Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this was on Cutting Records in New York.
Wow.
And I did the song, and this song really did great. I got a chance to perform this song with Barbara Tucker at the Sound Factory Bar in New York.
Wow.
She had me come and sing at one of her shows, and it was a beautiful experience just to have that to be on the stage with a legend, Miss
Yeah.
Barbara Tucker. So yeah, so this song was Spirit. So then there's another producer that came on scene
Uh-huh.
that heard me. His name is Charles Dawkins. He is a icon in the Baltimore house scene, producer extraordinaire, and we got together. He was like, "Listen," he said, "I want to do a song with you." I said, "Okay." So we got together and wrote a song called "Happy Song." Child, you these vinyls, honey. Happy Song.
Honey, I love it.
So
I love it.
we got together and we wrote this song and we included a diva. Her name is Miss Sheila Ford, who is a known voice in dance music, house music. We got together and we did the song Happy Song. We sang it together.
Wow.
And it did very well. It did so well
Yes.
that this song was featured in a indie movie overseas called Eden.
Wow.
So if you ever get this movie called Eden, Eden,
Yeah.
it's about a club kid who was trying to find his way through DJing, and he was going through a lot of things. And one of the scenes was Frankie Knuckles, the
Okay.
icon, the legendary Frankie Knuckles, was DJing in the club,
Yeah.
and he put my song on. And the kids knew my song. Like in the movie, they knew my song. They were jumping around, happy song, they're happy to get. They were singing and everything. I was like, when I tell you, girl, it's moments like that.
Yeah.
Whew, that just makes me feel like, hey, somebody thank God somebody's listening. Thank God somebody's appreciating my music. Thank God that I'm making some sort of impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a way. So, next record, um, ooh, um, me and Pope circled back around,
Yeah.
and we did another record. This record is called "Your Love."
Wow.
It says Poetry Records because that's his label.
Wow.
I guess you can see that.
Yes, you can.
Okay,
There is
and
that.
yeah, so this song is called "Your Love."
Yes.
And him and I wrote this song together, and this was a beautiful song as well. We did this together, and I
Right.
have one more.
Yeah, go ahead, take your time.
So then we was like, okay, well, we're going to do an extended of Your Love. We came out with this,
Wow.
which is an extended version with different mixes on it.
Yeah.
Um, and this came out on this label in Baltimore called Charm City.
Right.
But yeah, this is another record. So those records were they were work for hire records. I was hired to do those records, and um, they made noise for me. Thank
Yeah.
God for that. So I took a hiatus after my last record back in the '90s, which was 2000.
Yeah.
Your Love came out. I took a hiatus because I was trying to regroup,
Yeah.
and I wanted to focus on um, working with new producers, um, getting something solid with, so I can now make an album because now I have traction. So fast forward from early 2000s to 2019, when I had fully transitioned in 2000, but I was still getting some things together. I was still working some things out.
Yeah.
So 2019, well, 2015, there was a contest here in Philly called Songbird.
Yeah.
I joined the competition, and I was season 3 winner.
Wow.
I remember my first song I sung the first night. I sung "As We Lay" by Kelly Price,
Woo! That's a song. That's a
and
song.
and I and let me tell you, I laid it on the table, but he was like, "Whoa, girl, you was not to be played with." But I made sure that I just studied my craft and just made sure that I came through. Didn't know I was going to win, but I win. I won, thank God. And so that in turn got got a wonderful friend of mine who is a singer, songwriter, and producer himself.
Yes.
His name is Devon Howard.
Okay.
And we got together, and he said, "You know what?" He said, "It's time for you, after coming off a Songbird, to record something. We need to record an album, and this album needs to talk about the chronicles, your life chronicles."
Yes.
And I was like, "You know what? You're right." He said, "Because there are other girls like you who need to hear um, what you've been through, because a lot of girls like yourself have gone through so many things,
Terrible.
and they have had so many things to deal with that, um, like yourself.
Yeah.
Let's put this stuff on paper." So we came up again
Yes.
with this.
Yeah.
So this is 2019. This is
Yeah.
Transcendence. I have a few songs on here. One called "I Win,"
Yes.
which did very very well overseas on indie radio.
Yeah.
Um, my this CD charted at number 8 on a major UK chart over there, indie
Wow.
chart.
Wow.
I was on the chart with uh, Montel Jordan,
Yeah.
with what's her name? What's baby girl's name? Tamar Braxton.
Yes.
Um, oh God, Jennifer Holliday.
Yeah.
Just to name a few people.
Mm-hmm.
And for that to happen for me as a black trans woman, I was I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was happy. I was shocked. It was so many emotions that just came about. But I was also grateful and thankful. But I was reminded of the journey that I had to go to get here, to get this, and to get there.
Yes.
And I'm filled with so much um, humility and so much gratitude, that I was able to do something like that overseas.
Yes.
Like you said, over here in America, they're not really getting it. You
Right.
know,
They don't get it.
no, unless you are endorsed
Yeah.
by somebody big
Yeah.
that's putting you out there,
Mm-hmm.
that's doing things like that. They sleep on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So but I say this to say that even um even when it seems like you're not making a lot of noise,
Yeah.
and you seem like you're not really um, being heard, and people are really seeing you for who you are and what you are, and the road may be just a little bit harder,
Yeah.
because of who we are and the state of that the world is in now.
State of affairs. Yes.
Right. And it always remember that there is a bright side
Mm-hmm.
through the storm, because I sing a song on that album called Troubled Waters.
Yes.
And right now we are making our way through troubled waters. And baby, tell your sons and daughters that the storm is here.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to continue to hold on.
Yeah.
Um, and we can't save others if we don't save ourselves first.
Mm-hmm.
So I identify with the fact that, um, like I said again at the beginning, this journey has not been easy.
Right.
And and for those of us who are really putting in the work, who are staying dedicated, who are disciplining ourselves
Mm-hmm.
to become better, and to continue to um, go after our destiny,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes we get lost and we don't really tap into what our calling is.
Right.
I found out my calling a long time ago was to encourage, inspire, and uplift.
Yes.
If I can do those three things, that makes me whole. That makes me feel good, because I've always had that in me. Um, but my music speaks my advocacy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And with all the songs on this CD, um, Troubled Waters, I Win, I'm Only Human, um, Higher Up, Lost for Words,
Mm-hmm.
um, um, Letting Go, and Hey Love, and my other baby, Gotta Get Over.
Mm-hmm.
All those songs were songs that I went through.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And things that I had to deal with every day, on a daily, and still dealing with that stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, it's amazing how, um, I said at the beginning, manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
That should be a really big thing in 2026 throughout what's going on around us,
Yes.
because we have to continue
Life.
to speak life, and to speak positivity,
Mm-hmm.
and to speak over ourselves sometime,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody's not going to be like encouraging you all the time, patting you on the back, saying, "Hey, you know what? Go." You know what I'm saying? You got it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got to pat yourself on the back and speak over yourself sometime, and tell yourself, "Hey, self, with everything I'm going through, I can make it.
Yeah.
I can overcome this. I can go through this. Somebody someday is going to recognize and see who I am."
Exactly.
And
More than one.
that's
Mm-hmm.
it. And
Mm-hmm.
and so, I'm thankful to have had opportunities to do prides. I've done prides. I've sang on big stages, small stages.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we talked earlier. I sang with icons. I've had a chance to be in the studio with icons and stuff, and had a chance to write with a couple. And that to me are big accomplishments. They're, like I said, because people don't see those things, because they're
Yeah. They're
right.
huge. They're huge accomplishments because
Yeah.
it's not something that happens it's not something that happens lightly.
And guess what? Doors have closed. People have
Mm-hmm.
closed doors on me. People have muted me,
Yeah.
especially when they found out I became trans. They have muted me.
Mm-hmm.
People that were supporting me have Some people that supported me have stopped supporting me,
Mm.
because of you know, their own misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm.
and not seeing the talent first.
Yeah.
They want to see your sexuality first and not your talent.
Yeah.
And this is why I don't. I'm very strategic about how I move in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so because I want people to see my talent
Yeah.
and recognize me more so for that than anything.
Yeah.
Because I have something to say. I have a story to tell,
Okay.
and somebody needs to hear it
Yes.
because it's going to. I feel it's going to help somebody,
Yes.
and that's what I want to do. I want to help somebody come through
Mm-hmm.
because I've come through some things, and I'm still going through some things to come
Mm-hmm.
through.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can continue to spread the word
Yes.
and um, and put that out there that hey, I know what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've been there.
Yeah.
I've experienced that and things of that nature. But there's a still small voice in me that says, you know what? Don't give up.
Right.
Don't give up because there's still more work for you to do.
Yeah.
Your destiny is not over yet
Yeah.
until God says it's over.
Mm-hmm.
So and you speak about your career and things that you have done. I'm sure that makes you feel like um, that makes you feel a big accomplishment to know that you being who you are in the space that you are, that you was able to do these things that maybe some other girls hadn't had a chance to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But God put you in those places for a reason because He has uh, you have a story to tell.
Yes.
You have some sort of a example for some other girl who's coming up,
Ooh.
who's trying to do what you're doing
Mm-hmm.
and trying to break them doors down and go through and get through.
Yeah.
Myself, the same way,
Yeah.
to inspire some other girls coming up under me or whatever and saying, well, listen, if she can do it,
I can do.
um, I can do it too.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm glad that you went there because this is what people don't understand. A lot of people will say, oh, I really wish I could hear more of this artist. I really wish this artist would do more. They make it the artist's problem when it's really a lack of funding from the label, a lack of funding from their life, a lack of funding from a lot of things. And I am very vocal about funding. I sit here being who I am, as you spoke about my career. I've been through some things too that have been I just don't even, they fuel me today because those things, those negative things, there's a word, transmutation, when you take the negative and you literally work it like it's dough.
Mm-hmm.
Make something positive out of it, new bread, and then you break that bread with new people that never even knew you existed,
That's
but
right.
they do. I'm so, and I'm going to stay there for a second because Transcendence just isn't an album. It's not just your story. It is moving you toward where you need to be. I remember watching the documentary, and I am not going to let you skirt over it by just not remembering it, not remembering it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
wasn't it voted upon or reached 9 categories with the
Yes.
Grammys? Like, come
Yes.
on now. I'm like, come
Yes.
on now.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so
Talk
much for
about
bringing.
it.
Thank you so much for bringing that
Now
back.
you listen, I got you, baby. I got
Let me tell you something. It was a surprise to me when my producer picked up the phone and said, "Miss Kelly." He said, "Guess what?" I said, "What?" He said, "Your album, your album and your single, 'I Win,' has been introduced in 9 Grammy ballots." And mind you, when he told me the Grammys was coming on at that time, a week later, they were
yeah,
coming on.
yeah,
I said, I'm like, huh? He
right.
said, yes, your album and one of your singles has been introduced to the Grammy ballots 9 times. I said, oh my God.
Yes.
And then I said, look at God.
Mm-hmm.
Because I, you know, but although I always spoke a Grammy.
Yes.
I always spoke that. I always put that in the atmosphere. Lord, I want a Grammy. I want a
Yes.
Grammy. I
Yes.
want a Grammy. I want a Grammy. And to have my album
Mm-hmm.
reach the ballads,
Mm-hmm.
that was like a momentous moment for me.
Yeah. Monumental.
And I was so taken back and so surprised and so excited at the same time. It when I finally calmed down,
Uh-huh.
it made me smile and say, you know what? Um, Although you've been through a lot and you've haven't had the success that you really wanted to have, um, this right here is good.
Yeah.
This is good. This is um, this is something that just lets you know that possibilities are endless.
Yes.
You can get your nominations and get your Grammys. You can.
Yes, you can.
This is to let you know that your potential is great. You know, just stay in the race, continue to work hard, put in the work. Because if you don't put in the work, you're not getting stuff like that. You're not getting ahead. You got to put in the work and stay dedicated. So it was a very monumental moment for me, and it just solidified the fact that somebody somewhere heard my work as a trans artist, whether they knew it or not at the time. They heard my work and they were like, okay, you know what? She's good for consideration.
Yeah.
Although I didn't get, the nominations or I didn't win, but just to know that I could reach that
Yes.
was something to inspire me to go on and go further. And it gave me hope.
Yes.
It gave me hope, sis, because I put a lot of work into this album, Transcendence, what I call a masterpiece of work.
Yes.
I put my heart and soul into that album, and I wanted it to be something that, like I said, for years to come, when people really get into Miss Kelly and tap in,
Yes.
they could say, you know what? Wow, she was really singing about some stuff. She was really identifying and bringing out things that actually we go through on a daily. Every day is not a vote, and all that, and every day is not la 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 la. You know what I'm saying? We have problems. We have mental issue problems. A lot of us,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us are going through so much and
Mm-hmm.
trying to deal and adapt. And some of us are homeless and
Mm-hmm.
um, hungry and
Mm-hmm.
ain't got a dime to our names.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us are really going through some things, but we put on a smile
Yeah.
when we leave out the door
Mm-hmm.
because it's that pain behind the smile
Mm-hmm.
that you don't see.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, you know what? I said, I need to sing about some real shit.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Some,
Absolutely.
some, some stuff that people can be like, you know what? Yeah, I am feeling some type of way today. I did go through this. I did go through that. I did fail in a relationship. I did find love in a relationship. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, or with someone. As a LGBTQ
Mm-hmm.
plus person, trans woman. Um, these are things that we don't really talk about and promote so much on a basis because people look at us as being these happy people. They're happy all the
Mm-hmm.
time. They party, they club, they drink, they do drugs and all that. No,
Right.
all of us don't do that.
Mm-mm. No, Miss Kelly, we don't.
You know?
you know, I get this. I have to make an amendment right here.
Okay.
With this conversation, because it's not really an interview, it's a conversation. We're talking about the merit and the worthiness. I have to apologize to you, and I have to apologize to every single person that's going to see this, because my introduction of you is incorrect. My introduction needs to be redone. So I'm going to say this now. I would like to introduce to you Grammy nominated singer-songwriter, Miss Kelli. Let me tell you why. Because to even be nominated is one in a million. You are a Grammy-nominated artist, Miss Kelli.
Wow.
Let that sink in. Wait. 9-time Grammy-nominated artist. Miss Kelli. Miss Kelli. Let me tell you. 9-time Grammy-nominated artist. I need you to hear that, because from every conversation, every interview you do from this point, you make them say 9-time Grammy nominated artist, Miss Kelli. Everybody does that. Everybody who's major to even be nominated. I was having a conversation like this with a political activist, and his name is the Conscious Lee. We were having our second conversation, and I remember sliding into his DMs and telling him, I'm like, you need to put into your bio section,
Wow.
nominated, NAACP nominated. Like, you need to put that. Because this is the thing. When you hear certain people go, they always say 9-time Grammy nominated. 9-time Grammy nominated producer. 9-time Grammy-nominated songwriter, singer. Like, it is a big deal to be nominated. You hear major people on TV today say Emmy-nominated talk show host. Miss Kelli, don't you ever sleep on yourself like that again. Don't ever do
Wow.
that for me. Don't ever do that to me. Because I realized as we were talking, and I was specifically going to bring that up. But when you said it, it was like, oh, wait a minute, we made a mistake.
Oh.
Because
Wow.
it makes you elite. You have singers. You have songwriters. I'm one of them, not Grammy nominated. And that's okay. It doesn't take away from who I am.
That's right. That's right.
But Miss Kelli, it adds to who you are. It adds
Wow.
to who you are. That means that whether you won or not, you were recognized by the highest musical authority in our land. Not once, 9 freaking times.
Wow.
Miss Kelli, many of us can only dream. Many of us can only hope, and many of us will never achieve.
Wow.
It don't matter, because I'm so glad you brought that up, because as an artist who walked away from a major label, took the backlash, took the blackballing, took that because I could not part with my individuality. I could not part with my ownership. It hurt me
Right.
for years to have to say to myself, you are gifted, but you will never be nominated. You will never. I had to come to grips with that, Miss Kelli, because see, what people need to understand is these nominations just don't happen. You're not walking down the street. You have to become a part of the Recording Academy. Like, you have to pay dues. There's a lot of things. You have to be your local Grammy chapter. Like, there's a lot of things that we don't talk about to get you to even be considered. Like, you're paying dues to the Recording Academy to stay relevant, to stay connected, to be able to submit work.
That's right.
In
That's
my walking away, I had to say, well, if I'm an indie artist, if I'm walking away from the institution, I'm not going to join the academy. I had to say that. I had to become okay with, you're not a member of the academy. This goes even further. You're not a member of SAG and AFTRA, the Screen Actors Guild. You're not a member of that. You know, I had to come to grips with that. And I'm gonna tell you, I wasn't faring well. For
Right.
someone that released her first song,
Mm-hmm.
Black Stilettos,
Yes.
back in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Just thinking about that. We've come a long way.
Yeah.
But just to even do that and to have the ballroom scene pick it up,
Mm-hmm.
because the ballroom scene ran with it. And
Yes.
then after the ballroom scene grabbed it, Europe grabbed it.
Right.
And then after Europe grabbed it, pockets of our country started grabbing it. But this is
Mm-hmm.
not the important part. What's the important part is a major Grammy winning artist, songwriter, producer, and maker of artists
Mm-hmm.
called me at home. Can't say his name, won't say his name,
Mm-hmm.
but he called me at home
Mm-hmm.
and he said to me, one song out. Did you sing that? I said, yes, I did. He said, who wrote that? I said, I did. He said, who produced that? I said, I did.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'd like you to go on tour with me.
See? See?
Watch this, Miss Kelly. He said, I'd like you to go on tour with me and another Grammy winning artist who shall remain nameless. He
All
said, I'd
right.
like you to go with us and I'd like you to tour with us. He said, it's a way to get your music out there. They can hear your song. We can work it in that you come out and you sing your song. You can get traction that way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I said? With all due respect, Grammy winning artist, producer, songwriter, maker of artists, I say no. And he said, with all due respect,
Mm-hmm.
why the hell not? He fired right back. I said, because Mr. Grammy winning artist, producer, singer, songwriter,
Mm-hmm.
I am not a lunchbox. I
Mm.
did not prepare this entire meal for
Mm-hmm.
you to come along and slap your name on the outside of my lunchbox like you made the meal inside.
Wow.
Honey, that man paused for a good 10 seconds.
Mm.
And then he slammed the phone in my ear. And I continued.
Mm-hmm.
But what I had to understand was that my career, Miss Kelly, wasn't going to look anything remotely like a normal career. It wasn't going to look like it should have looked.
Mm-hmm.
But my grandmother was the one that told me, baby, you don't need their praise.
Amen.
But get this, circling back around to you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you actually get their praise, as
Mm-hmm.
you have 9 times, that holds weight, Miss Kelly. That holds significant and tremendous weight.
Wow.
You're a giant out here. You're a giant out here, Miss Kelly. We got a lot of singers. We got a lot of songwriters. We got
Mm-hmm.
a lot of producers. But Miss Kelly, you're one of a kind. And to
Oh.
have, get this, you already got the recognition you sought. The next thing is just to secure the award and go home and put it in your case. You're already, like, get this. This makes you, you know how Miss Tyra Banks used to say, congratulations, you're in the running of being America's Next Top Model?
Yeah.
You had to make the running. You're already in the running. So when they see your name cross that ballot again for whatever you do, they're going to say, oh, she was here before. That is going to get you closer to actually taking home the award. Can you imagine someone like myself being there a first time? They're not going to look twice, but they've already seen your name. They've already voted on categories that you were in. I'm staying here because this is a major moment.
Wow.
It's a major moment. And through it all, you remained Miss Kelli. And I want to say something to you.
Mhm.
Humility is a good thing, but humility can hurt you. Because when you are gigging, like us musicians have to do from time to time,
Mhm.
when you're gigging and you're trying to get a gig, that should be the first thing falling out of your mouth. I'm interested in working at your club. I'm interested in doing your function. 9-time Grammy nominated artist. Because get this, that's gonna open the door. They gonna snatch you on the merit of Grammy nominated. See,
Wow.
in my career, I've been able to do that. I've been able to leverage my place.
Mhm.
Anytime I'm able to do something, that leverage helps me to get the next job.
Right.
And Miss Kelli, that 9-time Grammy nominated is going to get you any job you want. And you know what the funny thing is, Miss Kelli?
What's that?
It's 2026. You've been sitting on that power all this time. You've been sitting on that power all this time. This ain't no exaggeration. This is just fact. You lived it, forgot it. My grandmother always says, I lived it. There are things in my life I done, lived, and forgot about. Miss Kelli, you forgot about that. And guess what? I knew because I watched your documentary.
Mhm.
That's how I knew. And think about this, Miss Kelli. If I hadn't watched it, we wouldn't be talking about this today on this platform that is seen around the world and is only continue to be seen.
Mhm.
I went viral, Miss Kelli. 21 million likes in 2018, 1 year.
Amen.
They awarded me my blue check. I don't pay for a subscription for that blue check. And I want you to know I'm saying this because when I go to speak, when
Mhm.
I go to get gigs, I say I am a viral sensation. And I have been for 10 years now, 11 years now.
Amen.
It helps you to get better situations. That's
Okay.
what it does. Me being a Libra, I'm good. I'm big on social situations. I'm the
Mhm.
socialite. I understand that position in power means something. And get this, not only position in power, well, I'm getting goosebumps, the ancestors done showed up. Proximity
Mm.
to power
Wow.
gets you the
Mhm.
gig. Consideration. That's what your management team will lead with.
Right.
When you go to perform. Because when
Mhm.
you step up there and they say tonight we have a special performer tonight, you don't do the gig if they don't first say 9-time Grammy nominated. That's not being a diva. That's being direct and precise.
Wow.
Because get this, when you're up there performing, they hear your talent, bear witness to your greatness. You don't know who's in the audience to give you your next gig.
Oh, no.
That's how we work.
Well, you're speaking so
Literally.
much life tonight. Oh my
Listen,
goodness.
Miss Kelli, because that's how we work.
Mhm.
That's how our gig, listen, that's how it happens for us indie artists. We have to make people aware of our progress. That's how we get the job.
Right.
Listen, Miss Kelli, for some reason, America likes to look at me.
Mhm.
They don't like to press a like button. They don't like to press a follow button. But my analytics say millions and have said millions for 11 years.
Mhm.
And I get the people that come to my page and say, well, you only have 30 likes on this. Who are you? What have you done? I'm like, baby, I was viral before you even thought about becoming a social media influencer. Honey, I wrote the book on how to do this.
All right now.
This is the Queen of Shade method, baby.
All right now.
I don't
Let
know
them
what they
know.
did before,
Mhm.
But baby, this is an original you're talking to, and I will not let you forget it or disrespect it. See,
Amen.
people in mainstream, they're taught, oh, let other people say your accolades. Let other people praise your rewards. But when we are indie, we don't have that luxury.
Right.
It has to be falling out of our mouths.
Okay.
It has to be falling out of our mouths. Miss Kelly,
Okay.
watching your documentary,
Mhm.
I also was privy to your story and the things that you went through, and growing up with a very militant father who believed in discipline, who believed in no emotion, who believed in firmness. That wasn't easy, and I'm not going to touch this long. The only reason I'm touching it now is because I watched in your documentary how you processed that and how you, as a phoenix, rose from the ashes of that in itself. You
Mhm.
know, to
Mhm.
have, I too share the pain with that, where your family does not openly embrace who you are, and furthermore, how you are.
Right.
Everything, and here we go. Here is this narrative again
Uh huh.
that they want to spin for you,
Mhm.
that you don't fit, and then they get upset with you when you take the power and control into your hands and you write your own narrative.
Mhm. Mhm.
Then it's a vanity campaign. Then
Right.
it's a delusion of grandeur. Then it's you're overstepping, overreaching. And it's like, but wait a minute. You don't have to be in my business. But if you're a trash truck driver,
Mm.
you are writing your narrative right now.
Yeah.
How dare you deny me the right to write my own narrative when you're writing yours every day, Miss Kelly? How
Right.
dare you refuse me the right to take control of the pen when you are writing, this is George something. He's a beloved husband, father of three, works
Mhm.
this job, went to this school, has this, he is survived by this, that, mother, parent, sister, this.
Mhm.
This is a
Mhm.
narrative.
Yeah. You're right.
I'm on that today, Miss Kelly, and you're the perfect example of being in control of the narrative.
Mhm.
You have done things that most people never will do. Get this. I'm gonna piggyback off of you again. Not only did you release house music, but you already have years of working with labels under your belt. You understand the label machine.
Mhm. Oh yes. Oh yes.
You under like
Girl.
all that I'm saying to you,
Mhm.
this gets you your record deal.
Mm.
This is how you get it. Because they say to you, well, what have you done? When I walked in as a model, Paris, New York, what have you done? That's the first question.
Mhm.
And honey, that was when I put 5 minutes on the clock. You start shucking and jiving, running down that resume. I've done this. I've shot with this photographer. I've done this. I've done that. I've been to France. It's been 20 years, Miss Kelly, and I still talk about France.
That's right.
Because most people that look like us
Mhm.
will never grace that soil with their own 2 feet.
Oh wow. Yeah,
And
you
I
right.
I did that at 22.
Yeah.
It's important for us to give ourselves grace and our own flowers. If no one claps, Miss Kelly, we got to clap for ourselves.
That's it.
We got to clap
That's
for
it.
ourselves
That's it.
because many people do not understand how our industry works, Miss Kelly. We have music, we have film, we have fashion, and then people love to leave this sister out, but she is in there, Miss Kelly, and people don't want to act like she is. She is. But when you do this and you rise to this, then all of a sudden you pop up in Hollywood too on shows and in movies.
Mhm.
Adult entertainment. Anything with fame. Anything with recognition, anything that sets you apart and millions of people see you all of a sudden, oh, it don't matter no more. You're in. You're
Right.
you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Kelli, I also loved watching your documentary that you're a woman of faith.
Amen.
I love the fact that as your pastor and dear friend and father, talked about how anointed you were, talked about your voice being anointed, talked about you leading praise and worship in his congregation, talked about how it was a safe space for you to be who you needed to be, to
Yes.
showcase your divinity and voice.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like, I love how you are able, and you even said it in your documentary. A lot of people think that, LGBTQ people cannot have the relationship with God. And you even talked about it. They're always trying to snatch God from us and give us hell. You said that in your documentary. You're
Mm-hmm.
so right. I today am not a Christian,
Mm-hmm.
not at all. But I am, here goes this word, spiritual, but it's not just spiritual for me. I have a relationship with the divine. I am led by the divine and my ancestors. That's how my faith looks.
That's
And
it.
that works for me. And that is how I've been able to be who I am. I've been
Mm-hmm.
able to do what I've done. For 11 years as the Queen of Shade, I have never burned out. I have never
Mm-hmm.
run out of anything to say. I have monologues. I have memes. I pump out these memes. These memes are my sayings. You know me. You follow me. I pump memes out all day by the hundreds, just off the top of my head. And I do that because of the dynamic, because I understand that whether or not it is Christianity, whether or not it is spiritualism, I I have a higher power.
That's right.
And that higher power made this possible.
That's right.
A lot of people say, oh, our ancestors, they're gone. No, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
I had a beloved uncle who contracted the HIV virus in the 80s when people were dropping like flies. He was
Uh-huh.
one of those to succumb, and he lived till 2006, I believe. He was 40 years old when he went. His name was Sidney Cross. He was my favorite uncle. Miss Kelly, to this day, when I write music, it is his voice that I hear.
Wow.
He was also a poet and a musician in his own right, Miss Kelly. And Miss Kelly, he comes to me, and when he comes to me, it is not a melody, it is a whole song.
Wow.
Every song that I have sang, Miss Kelly, Black Stilettos, I didn't write it. My spiritual guide did and gave it to me.
Mm.
It was finished when it was handed to me. And then
Love
I
it.
went and sang it in the studio. And then I went and spoke to my producer and crafted the beat. That came from spiritualism for me.
Right.
A connection to faith, a connection to believing. I said all this to say, please expound on how you were able, with all that you were facing, with an abusive father, with going to many other churches that did not have the welcome that your now church does.
Mm-hmm.
How were you able to maintain your relationship with God in your faith and in your understanding? How did that happen? Because most of us have lost it. It has been burned out of us.
Yes, it has.
So how did you do that?
You know, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
See, because of my spiritual upbringing, my
Yeah.
well, religious upbringing, because
Yeah.
back then it was about religion. People didn't really understand about spirituality.
Right.
Because of the religious background that was generated in my family. My family was Baptist,
Yeah.
and I had a couple of members of my family who was Pentecostal and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
um, so I was in church all the time. I was in church all the time. Um, you know, um, Bible study, prayer service, tarrying service. And I sang on the choir on like growing up as a kid and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we were connected to church a lot. So, and my grandmother, I'm gonna tell you a really interesting story about my grandmother.
Yes, please do.
God rest her soul, Miss Eunice Woodward. Um, so my grandmother was one of those Southern spiritual. Uh, uh, um,
Phenomenons.
yes, yes. I mean, girlfriend. It was embedded in the family. As from great grandmothers and all that, and grands and all the family back then up to my generation. So this is something that my grandmother used to do that we had to do.
Yeah.
When we came home from school, we had to have church
Wow.
right in the living room
Wow.
of our townhouse that we had.
Right.
My grandmother, Eunice Woodward, as soon as we came in, we dropped our bags. We got in that living room on those sticky sofas back in the day with that plastic. Oh, it used to wear
Yes.
me out. You hear me?
Yes.
But we had to sit on that hot plastic,
Right.
and we actually had church service. Like we had devotional service. It
Wow.
was me and my two cousins
Right.
at the time, Michelle and Martina.
Right.
We had devotional. We had a prayer. We had devotional service.
Wow.
We had testimonial service. She gave us all individual songs that we had to learn and sing and embed in our spirit and and our minds. My song was um yes, grandmama, yes, yes, I love Jesus. Miss Kelly, Miss Kelly, why do you love Jesus? Because he first loved me. That was my song.
Yes.
And so we had to sing. We sung. We used to put the record player on, and we would get up and have our little tamarines, and we would sing to the music. James Cleveland, the Clairvoyant singers, and all those people from back in the. We used to have church, and my grandma would get happy and stuff, and then we would have to read scripture. We would have to pray, and then we would have there was a sermon. My grandmother would do a sermon, and then we would close out with prayer and benediction. Like we had church, and this was every day
Mm.
that we that I lived with my grandmother at the time.
Yeah.
And those are things that really those things really stayed with me,
Yeah.
and it helped me uh, to understand that there's someone higher than me. There's someone who looks who sits high and looks low.
Yes.
And everybody identifies God. So many names we have for God, but there's only one God and one
Yeah.
nation. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
That's right.
And so, but we identify him different names. But I once I understood that my relationship
Yeah.
with God and was important. Um, I understood that there's somebody bigger than you and I.
Yes.
That's allowing me to recognize
Yeah.
and to understand that he has control. He loves us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And don't let nobody tell you that God don't have love for his. I call us beautiful people.
Yes.
We are beautiful people. We all have something really unique and special
Yes.
about us that God made.
Yes.
And to understand that is a better way of life because with with
Yeah.
religion keeps us back.
Yeah.
Religion to me keeps us oppressed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't fully understand a lot of things, even though we read the Bibles, different interpretations that people have.
Mm-hmm.
Then mankind kind of draws their own conclusion and make uh, their own situation out of it. But the one most important thing is um, once I understood that God's love is for everyone.
Right.
He created me out of his own image.
Right.
He interceded when my parents came together
Right.
to create me.
Yes.
So he didn't make a mistake,
Mm-mm.
not one.
Not one.
He mapped out a destiny for me,
Yes.
and he allowed me to go through each and everything that I went through in life
Yes.
to get here.
Yes.
And it was necessary.
Yes.
It was necessary for me to go through all that, even with my parents and my dad, and the things that he did to me, and
Yeah.
the not so kind treatment at times. He was a good provider.
Yes.
That he was a good provider, and he did the bare necessities for me growing up as a kid.
Yes.
But there was a disconnect when it came to my life. I don't call it a lifestyle. I call it my life.
Right.
And there was a disconnect,
Mm-hmm.
and through that disconnect came the abuse,
Yeah.
came through the misunderstanding, came um, the mental abuse,
Yes.
along with the physical abuse, and not having a strong uh, foundation with my father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I so believe that if he just came up out of his old school ways
Yeah.
and understood that, hey, um, it's not all about this outer shell.
Right.
It's not about this outer shell. It's the inner shell.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that stood in the way of us. It stood in the way of us. Um, our relationship together was strained at times, and there were times. I must say this though. I want to say this. I remember one day my brother. I have a brother who's under me,
Yes.
and I was 15 years older than him, and I remember one day. I taught him how to ride his first bike because I used to take care of him when he was a baby, and
Yes.
and was being a sibling to him,
Yes.
in the right way. And I remember I taught him how to ride his first bike, but um, on that day, I remember my father telling him that, you know what, I don't want you hanging around
No.
because I don't want you to end up like that.
No, Miss Kelli.
When I tell you um, that that stripped everything inside me. That stripped everything that I had inside me down because all I ever wanted was love, and I wanted to receive love and give love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that stripped so much of me to have him say that in front of my face and my brother's face standing there. He said that in both of our faces. I'll never forget my brother's face. Well, he was very perplexed and like he was trying to internalize what was being said and what was going on. And it's like the whole world went silent.
Yeah.
I never wanted to do anything to hurt my brother. I would never do anything to hurt my brother.
Mm-hmm.
All I wanted to do was love him and show him a good quality life, a good quality relationship between siblings. And I wasn't trying to push nothing on him. He's his own person. He has his own mind,
Yeah.
and he can make his own choices.
Yeah.
My thing is, I just wanted to be present so
Yes.
that he could say, you know what, Big Sis was there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Through my life, and and help nurture me to a fine young man that I am. For him to say that I am.
Yes.
But that was a punch in the gut for me. I never would have thought that that would be said, but it was said to me, and it really bothered me for so long. How could you say that to your children? But because of his upbringing and that strict sternness that was uh, passed on down to him from his father, and the abuse that he had from his father and stuff like that, and it it's like a generational thing. It goes from one to the other, and
Yeah.
a lot of times people don't. If you don't um, if you don't identify it
Yeah.
and correct it for change,
Mm-hmm. It
it
continues. It
continues.
repeats. Mm-hmm. I was just thinking that.
Yes. So I was listening to Tasha Cobb's "Break Every Chain" when that song
Mm-hmm.
first came out,
Mm-hmm.
and I was thinking to myself, I wish that song came out back then
Yeah.
when this was said to me, because that's something that I would have probably said in a context to my father.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in order for things to get better, we have to break that chain.
Yes.
We have to break that mindset. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, it just continues. And so to this day, my brother, we spoke about it sometime last year, and I brought it up to him. And he said, I'm sorry. He apologized to me
Mm.
and told me that he's sorry that our dad did that and said that. He was apologizing for my dad.
Yes, I was getting ready to say he was apologizing for you. Yeah, you took it
You
up.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was taken by that. I was like, but I said, little bro, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
It's not your fault, and it's not even my fault.
Right.
It's his fault. You know what I mean? It was his ways, his thinking, his whole mindset and war at that time. And that's something that I told my brother. I said that's something that affected me for a long time. That's why his and our relationship kind of faded off
Yeah.
through his teenage years into his grown man years. Now he's grown,
Yeah.
and I told him last year. I said, listen. I said one thing's for certain, two things for sure. Whatever happens, whatever comes or goes, you have me. You
Right.
got me.
Right.
You got big sis over here.
Right.
I love you. I respect you. I'm happy that you were born because I wanted a sibling so that I can, experience that thing of having sisters and brothers. I said, and I celebrate you.
Yes.
And I said, for you to apologize for him, that was big. And he apologized. He apologized to me because he said, for a moment, for some like a little time when that was said to him, he was it kind of was getting to him like, okay, um, well, if this is what Dad said, then this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I need to switch up my interaction with Big Sis because maybe this might happen. But through separation during that time and me not seeing him a lot and us crossing paths when we did, he grew up, and
Yes.
um, he started seeing my community.
Yes.
And he said, you know what? He said, one thing I could say, most of y'all LGBTQ folk, most of y'all have a lot of love for each other.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have an understanding among each other because you guys have been through some of the similar situations
Yes.
with being outcast, being ostracized and discriminated against, and the whole deal.
Yes.
He said that has to be something. That's something that's something powerful to come out and say, although we're being ostracized and cast aside and discriminated against, that we still march on,
Yeah.
even when the hatred is there and it's thick. We still continue to march on. And once he saw me and my career
Mm-hmm.
elevating and stuff and things I was doing and me being out there in the limelight,
Yeah.
he was inspired.
Uh-huh.
He said, I don't see why Dad said all that stuff to
Mm-hmm.
us. You know what I'm saying? Like you inspire me.
Yeah.
Um, and he said, and you're not even heterosexual. You know what I'm saying? He said, but you inspire me to want to be a better person,
Right.
and to understand people, and to not look at people a certain way and judge
Yeah.
and have and have a negative opinion about a certain group of people. He said, because at the end of the day, he said it. He said, we're human. And he said, God's love is for all of us.
It
And
is.
I was like, wow. It's something when you just, when you finally understand,
Mm-hmm.
when you finally understand, because understanding doesn't come easy for some people.
Mm-mm.
No matter how big you paint the picture,
Mm-hmm.
it don't come easy for people because people are still stuck.
Yeah.
But once you finally just open your mind and just be receptive
Mm-hmm.
to information, new information.
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of people are stuck in old information, but once you
Yeah.
receive, let that new information come in, and to reprogram your mind,
Yes.
then you can begin to walk in true destiny,
Yeah.
real purpose, because you understand that each one of us have our own map,
Yes.
our own roadmap,
Yes.
and um, we all are not going to be the same, and we're all not going to walk the same road.
Right.
So, I like I said, that was a really, really monumental moment for me when my dad did that.
Yeah.
I never understood it, and for a while I didn't forgive him.
Yeah.
I had a lot of dislike
Yeah.
for him to have the audacity to say that
Yeah.
when all I wanted to show was love. That's all.
Yeah. It's something, but your even your brother is so correct because even I have two heterosexual nephews,
Mhm.
and one of my babies, okay, it's a new baby, which is why I've kind of eased up on doing the conversations like this, is
Mhm.
because I have to be there for my household. Because get this, my baby, he on December 23rd, he turned 18 years old.
Oh.
He was living in Delaware with his father and his stepmother. They had a home, they weren't renting. So you would
Mhm.
think, okay, his father had a business. So this man
Mhm.
is well to do, the mother worked. So what happens is my nephew, he honors National Honor Society, AP and advanced honors courses. If that wasn't enough, he played football, he wrestled, and he ran track. Now get this, and then if you think that was too much, he then got a separate job outside of all of that. He's a
Mhm.
high achiever. And this,
Mhm.
I have a point for this, but what happens is his father, he's heterosexual, but his father had a problem with who he was.
Mm.
And this goes back to what I've been saying all day. The
Mhm.
father was upset that the narrative was my son is going to do way better in life than I ever dreamed. And he threw my baby out in the middle of January in the cold.
Wow.
Delaware. So he is here. And what's so crazy is I use the word baby lightly. He's 6'2.5". He's 200 and something pounds of muscle. This is a man child. But
Mhm.
they both, him and my other nephews that have been here, say, we never thought we could learn to be a real man from
Mhm.
someone in the LGBTQ plus community.
Yep.
It's the highest compliment I have ever received, because what we have to understand about life is life, like you said, Miss Kelly, it don't care about this outside.
Mhm.
It cares about what's going on inside, and
Mhm.
us handling our responsibilities and sometimes fixing mistakes that other people did before we got here.
Amen.
It only knows results
Amen.
and mastery. So I know that all of those things, even what we were talking about, it could make you not only hate your father, but it could make you hate God.
Yeah.
And my family did a lot of evil things to me, threw me out when I was newly home from college after being medically withdrawn for being bipolar 1, having PTSD because of my childhood, and having acute anxiety disorder. Miss Kelly, I love the internet because I can't have a lot of people around me personally. I'm
Right.
also an empathic person, so I pick up on all the moods and the changes in energy, and it's too much for me with the anxiety disorder. So, you
Mm-hmm.
know, all of that, I say all that to say that, how we choose to live and how we choose to show up in this world is our business.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we are not hurting anyone, as long as we are not hurting children, as long as we are doing our responsibilities, as long as we are pressing forward toward our own mark of a higher calling,
Mm-hmm.
on our hands and on our terms, no one should have anything to say about what we're doing.
That's
But
right.
what's crazy in my family is, because I wanted to touch on this before I let you go, but my on my mother's side, the side that raised me, my maternal side, all of my aunts and uncles are gay and lesbian, all of them. So you would have thought when they saw me coming up that it was going to be no problem. They were going to show me the ropes. Miss
Right.
Kelly, they were in Pentecostal church, so they hated themselves. They were embarrassed about being who they were. They were angry for being who they were. So when they saw me being unapologetically unable to hide,
Mm-hmm.
not masculine presenting, it was open season on my confidence and
Mm-hmm.
self-esteem. But
Okay.
I've distanced myself from those people. I'm not with those people. Those people are not a part of my life anymore. But I wanted to say this. You know, they didn't embrace themselves. They saw me embracing myself, and it has for years. I'm 43 now. It has always been a bone of contention between us.
Mm-hmm.
But for a while, Miss Kelly, my faith was in compromise because I was like, God, these people hurt me the most. And it was just like, you let that happen. Why did that happen? But it was
Right.
actually one of my nephews who said to me a couple of days ago, he said, Unc, he was like, you wouldn't be the same person if it didn't happen.
Mm.
Miss Kelly, you wouldn't be Miss Kelly this way. I wouldn't be the Queen of Shade. It
Yeah.
wouldn't be this way. And before I let you go, I want to talk about this too. When I was going to sign to a major label, I had been
Mm-hmm.
singing since I was 10 years old. I was in my 20s then. Like I said, 33 years of singing. I never went anywhere and learned how to sing.
Okay.
I remember, and I'm talking about like lessons and things like that. I
Right.
remember the label, the one of your producers did with you, the DJs did with you. No, the label. He was like, well, we're going to connect you to some people, some house DJs, and those things. That's what happened. What happened was my A&R, because I come from a time of A&Rs. So
Yeah.
my A&R at the time, he was like, he wanted me to really take vocal lessons in New York with his premier vocal coach that the label used, but I couldn't do that because I had to work a job. So
Right.
they put me with someone in South Jersey
Mm-hmm.
by the name of Deb Chamberlain, and Deb is amazing. Like she's amazing. She's a powerhouse in her own right. And what I'm saying this for a reason. It was her husband that actually helped me produce my first 60 songs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like Miss Kelly, I got music, Miss Kelly.
Come on
I
now.
got a catalog. Like I got a
Come
catalog.
on.
Like because but what I was saying was because realized I was gonna have to do it all myself. I
Mm-hmm.
realized I was going to have to take it into my own hands. So I
Yeah.
couldn't wait on a label. So my grandmother fronted me the money, and I was able to build a catalog, a body of work that
Right.
literally is still incomplete because I still have so many songs I've written and yet to record,
Mm-hmm.
So it just goes on to say, but I'm saying this for a reason. The life of an artist is never easy. But art truly does imitate life. The hardship, the struggle. If you didn't have those things happen, Miss Kelly, you wouldn't be singing songs that, are empowering.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be on the internet talking about power, and I wouldn't be doing these conversations uplifting those in my community and abroad,
Right.
saying that we can be who we need to be. We need to be all the time. And, you know, it just goes without saying that as I wrap it up, I'm so honored to be in a place that I can sit and talk to people like you that have a happy ending to their story.
Yeah.
Because listen, I'm sitting here with bills due. I'm sitting here with needing a new place to
Yes.
live. Like
Yes, me
I'm
too.
sitting, but at the
Mhm.
same time, I'm sitting here with a body of work that belongs completely to me, and
Amen.
I have no outstanding business debt.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we all need money to advance, but
Yes.
everything that I'm doing, I own and it's mine and I owe no one, which means I don't have to take and use anything as collateral. I'm not using anything as collateral is what I'm saying. But
Absolutely.
but being able to do what I do has allowed beautiful souls
Mhm.
to come to me like you today. I am so touched, moved, inspired by what you are, who you are, and whose you are. Because they don't make them like you. They don't make them like you. You are truly a pioneer and a trailblazer in our community and
Wow.
abroad. Because when that Grammy Academy put you up for consideration, that was
Yes.
the heterosexual world
Yes.
acknowledging that you a bad bitch.
Yes.
That was them giving a nod to you. So you've been recognized in our community and outside of our community. And I just thank God for him truly allowing our paths to cross the way that they have. This certainly won't be the last conversation we have, but literally, this is, you know how they say this is a bang up way to start it. Like this
Yes.
was a bang up way to
Indeed.
start,
Indeed.
communications on a more interpersonal level.
Mhm.
And I'm just so like I can't wait to sit back and watch this because it's just, oh my God. And then to share it, it's just so powerful. Like I feel like, usually when I sit down and I do these are not scripted. These are
Right.
not interviews, they're conversations. I don't know what I'm going to say, but literally this one will stay with me for a very long time because this
Wow.
one was the acknowledgement of the thing. Because
Mhm.
even as I spoke to you, I
Mhm.
heard God speaking to me,
Wow.
about future, about what was coming, about what was already done, about when
Wow.
you said, I came to this planet, and before I came to this planet, you said God intervened with my parents and brought me here. Then you said he charted a destiny for me. When I got here, I was just like, like it screams, I am an anointed original. And I want everyone to take that away from
Yes.
this conversation today.
Mhm.
You know
Mhm.
what, Miss Kelly? I have a question, and I usually conclude every conversation asking the question. The question usually is, what is your definition of beauty? But I want to put to you a different question, kind of posed the same way.
Mhm.
What does it mean, Miss Kelly, to be an anointed survivor?
Wow. I have never been asked that question before.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to be an anointed survivor? One, chosen,
Yes.
chosen. And to understand because it took me a long time to understand, and I'm still trying to understand this
We
thing.
all are. We all are.
Right. That God's chosen ones are the ones that get the most,
Yes.
that get the most, get beat up on,
Mhm.
criticized, ridiculed,
Mhm.
you name it. We go through hell. You hear me?
Mhm.
Because we are chosen
Yeah.
to do something that's special.
Yeah.
And our light shines so bright sometimes that people just don't know how to see that light because it's so bright.
Yeah.
And you say something within the conversation about, we were talking about it, it, it's chosen. It's chosen. Chosen is something powerful.
Mhm.
And when you're chosen to do something, especially something great, um, that to me speaks volume of um, being anointed.
Yeah.
Um, now I do believe that we all have God chooses certain people for certain things. They say, but we all have a certain degree of anointing.
Mhm.
Some of us just don't tap in
Mhm.
because either we don't know how
Mhm.
or we're too afraid
Mhm.
to tap in. Because some people love comfortability. They love being where they're at because it feels safe. It feels good. It ain't nothing really got to change. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is riding, at a pace. But when you're chosen, there's a lot of task that's thrown at you. When you're
Yes.
anointed, there's a lot of task. There's a lot of things that you go through, um, and it's a big test. It's a test,
I want to
and
yeah.
you know,
I want to say something too on that too, Miss Kelly.
mhm.
I want people to understand something, and this is a hard pill to swallow for the viewer because I'm about to say something that completely blows it out of the water. Favor isn't fair.
Mm,
Favor means preferred.
that's right.
There are 8 billion people on this planet. They are all God's children. They are
Hmm.
all anointed, but they don't all have the favor of God of being chosen. You know, many are called, but few are chosen for
Chosen. That's
a
right.
reason. It's for a reason. And favor, when you receive that kind of favor, favor is not fair. God is not about fairity. He's
That's right.
about preferring these people that you see to lead the way.
That's
So
right.
I just want people to understand that because when they see what comes for you next, when they see what comes for me next, it's going to bring a lot of animosity, a lot of jealousy, a lot of
Oh
envy.
yes.
But I'm going to let them know, Miss Kelly, every chance I get, you know me, I'm the queen of shade. I'm going to read them. Every chance I get, favor ain't fair, baby. It
Yes.
means preferred.
Yes.
The way that you're preferred means that there was other people.
Hmm.
Y'all got overlooked.
Yeah, and and being anointed in that,
Yeah,
because of you being chosen,
yeah,
um, is is something. It's something amazing,
yes,
and when you get to the point where you understand that when you understand your anointing
yes,
and you being chosen and being a survivor,
yes,
because through all of that, you're going to have, like we said before, you're going to have your trials and tribulations,
yes,
even though you're favorite.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Ah, and even more so because you are, like you said a couple minutes ago, because you are, you're gonna run through it. Or they're gonna run you through the ringer.
Right. So it's it's oh God. They say God does not give you so much that you can't bear. He knows,
Yeah.
and but you have to be willing to. We have to be as a survivor. Me going through different stages of my life of being homeless,
Yeah.
being discriminated against,
Yeah.
being abused, being attacked, and almost. Let me tell you something. I have escaped death so many times.
Yes.
Um, through and this is a whole nother conversation. But
Hmm.
I've escaped death so many times because at one point in my life, you know, when things got bad,
Yeah.
a girl had to go out on a stroll.
Yes, I understand.
And listen, I wasn't doing drugs
I understand.
or I wasn't doing anything negative. I was paying for my roof over my head.
Hmm.
I was paying for food in my stomach. I
Hmm.
was paying to keep myself looking good because I was.
Go
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be very, very real right now.
Yes.
This
Yes.
and I'm not sitting up here boasting and saying that this is the thing to do.
Not hardly, but go ahead, Miss Kelly.
But I remember when I was going for jobs and things, and I was trying to do the right thing as
Yeah.
far as people say,
Hmm.
by getting a job, working a 9 to 5,
Hmm.
and bringing home a check and collecting taxes at the end of the year.
Hmm.
I was being discriminated against because um, you know people just wasn't trying to understand
Yeah.
that part. They
Hmm.
weren't trying to understand I'm human.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That, I want to live a nice, fruitful life just like everyone else.
Yes.
But they weren't giving me a chance.
Hmm.
So, I ended up doing things of that nature because it paid my bills,
Yes.
it put food in my mouth,
Yes.
it helped me pay for this, what you see here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It did so many things to help push me
Yes.
and then it pushed me to where I'm at now. And in the midst of that, I still had God.
Yes.
I,
Completely.
I still had favor.
Completely.
I still had the anointing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not boasting about it and saying, that was the right thing to do. But this is part of my chronicles.
It
This
is.
this, this is what is the part that helped build me. It's
Yes.
building my character, so many things, and I did what I did,
Yes.
but I did it, and because I wanted to get ahead, I wanted to
Hmm.
I wanted to see my vision come to life. I
Right.
didn't want to, wallow in the fact that, because I can't get a job, blah, blah, blah. But what happened is I got smart.
Hmm.
And
As we do, Miss Kelly, as we do.
yes, I got smart during the process. And thank God that through this, me making this album and all I had to do to make this happen.
Hmm.
Um, when I understood that I write and I wrote my songs,
Yes.
I signed up for ASCAP,
Yes.
and then I get royalty.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And from that, I now do shows, do gigs. When I get my gigs and stuff, I get
Yes.
paid gigs now.
Yes.
So, because what I prayed for, I said, Lord, I said, I don't want to do that the rest of my life because
Right.
I know that that's not who I am.
I understand.
But because I'm going in this avenue, I just ask that you just take me through this,
Hmm.
and I want to get this project done. I want to get this stuff out. I want to get this thing going, so that one day this will open the door for me to not have to do that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I understand.
I can do my career. I can do what I love to do. I can make money like that, and I can live a comfortable life. So that was survival. When we spoke about survival, being a
Yeah.
survivor.
Get this, Miss Kelly. This
You
is
know.
this is the perfect time. Let me look into this camera. Let me look into this camera.
Hmm.
Miss Kelly,
Yes.
I have an OnlyFans right now.
Okay.
My only I'm the illustrious Queen of Shade, a global empire, global this, global that, the trademarked brand, baby. I have an OnlyFans right now, and because Miss Kelly, when I needed money, I went and worked in a female phone sex agency. So, sweetheart, when I left that agency, I took the skills with me, and today you can find them on OnlyFans as I talk dirty, and the name is Dirty Talking Shade Queen.
All right.
And guess what? I'm never gonna let it go.
All right.
You want to know something? Because this is the thing. When I was homeless,
Mm-hmm.
praying for God to help me get a job, God told me
Mm-hmm.
to go get the classifieds of a Sunday newspaper. And when
Mm.
I went and got the classifieds of a Sunday newspaper,
Mm-hmm.
he said, flip to the classifieds. It'll catch your eye. I flipped to the classifieds and it said looking for female phone actresses. It said female phone actresses. That's what it said. Female actresses, phone actresses. And guess
Mm-hmm.
what? I had done it once before. That's how I got with my A&R. I answered an ad on MySpace. He was looking in the classified section. He was looking for girls to sing backup on albums. I said, "Well, I'm a boy, but I can hit these notes." So I turned around and I sent him the cassette. I was kind of scared. I sent him the cassette after he cussed me out and told me to send it
Mm-hmm.
and stop being chicken. And the next thing I know, I'm standing in studios in New York.
Right.
So even then, what I'm saying is I had done that before. God said, go to the classifieds. So I go to classifieds. I looked that up. They didn't believe I was a boy when I called the phone sex place. She
Mm.
said, it was set. When I tell you it was a setup, said, if you are a boy, when you come down here tomorrow, you got the job.
All right.
Honey, when I walked through that door, let me tell you something. I used to work graveyard shift, and it was crazy because the job was considered part-time, but you got paid so well. I worked from 12 midnight to 6 a.m. in the morning. Miss
Mm-hmm.
Kelly, that took me from the hood down to Center City. I had my own apartment in Center City. I ain't have much furniture, but I only used that apartment for extracurricular activities, if you understand what I'm saying, to the tune of 85 men in one summer.
Okay.
But
Okay.
but literally, it took me all the way down there. And then not only that, I have a famous song called Operator, Telephone Assistant, where I'm talking about that. Europe loves
Mm.
that song. And that song is that song because I lived it.
I'm your operator, you can get me on the line. You can call me night or day, you can call me anytime. Anytime that you want me, it's okay to spend your dime. I'm your operator, come on baby, call the line. When you feel the fever and it's moving through your body, you don't have to think about it. You can call me, boy, I got it. I can see that you want it.
That's
So
it.
this is what people need to understand, Miss Kelly, and I'm gonna let you go. God can use everything, anything in our lives. He's not scared of getting his hands dirty. He's not afraid. People are. Oh, well, image, image, image. Well, baby, you sitting back with an image, and most of you artists today with image don't own your own catalogs. Don't get me started.
Mm.
Don't get me started. So this image thing, I think that's why I had the fire in my voice. My voice returned because I was hoarse. But literally, that's what the Queen of Shade was. When I turned on this camera and was bare-chested from working out in the gym and had my grandmother's church hats on, I was letting it all hang out. I didn't care what I looked like. And now
Mm-hmm.
today I'm this.
Amen.
So don't tell me what God can't use. Don't tell me what God shuns away from. Don't tell me that what I'm doing is a sin because God used everything in my life. And today you better put respect on my name. I am the trademarked Queen of Shade. And if you
Amen.
try me, honey, you will receive a cease and desist from my lawyer.
Amen.
Threatening to sue. I've already had to almost sue a famous person and two famous companies. I'll tell you off camera. But baby, yes. Don't tell me what God won't bring about. He uses everything. Everything is a part of the stew, is a part of the soup. And that's what everyone needs to take away from this today.
That's right.
So
That's right. That's
don't
right,
go. Yeah,
sister.
listen, don't go away. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard, and I say this after every interview, but I love saying this today because it means so much. You have heard the vocal stylings of 9-time Grammy nominated singer, songwriter, producer, and artist, Miss Kelli with an I.
Thank you. Thank you.
Make sure you check out 9-time Grammy-nominated artist Miss Kelli's album, Transcendence, available on Spotify and everywhere else that you stream music. Look for the artist, Miss Kelli, Transcendence. Listen today.
So did you enjoy? I know that I did. It is always a pleasure to speak to one of my boys or girls and have conversations that are meaningful. I hope that this conversation gave you a few nuggets that you could take into your own life, activate, and get changes and results for the better. So listen. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, you might want to do that. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Queen of Shade. And then after you do that, you need to go to my main page, scroll down to season 1 and 2, and watch them both. I love you. And I do this because it is an amazing opportunity to bring humanity to some of the most beautiful people in the world that you've never really heard speak beyond just a few segments on social media. Conversation is important. Back and forth, the dialogue, networking. It's how we all get anywhere in life. Trust me, baby. If you're not networking, you might as well start, because I guarantee you, networking will get you further than any money exchange ever could. As I said, I love you. And remember, I am the Queen of Shade. That is a fact and not a mother opinion. Mwah.
Don't worry. I'm a professional.